Am I audible, ma'am?
हाँ यस कार्तिक।
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, you can start the session, ma'am.
Yeah, 1 minute. I will
Okay.
share my screen. After that,
Okay.
you. Yeah.
Okay.
Please let me know is my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, visible.
1 minute. I will disable the notification annotations here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall I
Are
start, ma'am?
you able to see my screen?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
It is showing us Durgabai Desamuk, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, okay. గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ అండి అందరికి. గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ అండి అందరికి. ఎలా జరుగుతున్నాయి క్లాసెస్? సో మీకు నేను స్క్రీన్ షేర్లో కనబడుతోంది కదా, ఆవిడ ఎవరు గుర్తొచ్చారా? ఆవిడ దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ గారు. సో దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ అనగానే మనకి ఎవరు గుర్తొస్తారంటే ద ఐరన్ లేడీ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా అని కూడా అంటారు ఆవిడ్ని. ఆవిడ స్వాతంత్ర సమరయోధురాలు, పేరు పొందిన స్వాతంత్ర సమరయోధురాలు, అలాగే ఒక సామాజిక కార్యకర్త. ఈవిడ గురించి మన తెలుగు వారందరికీ తెలియని వారంటూ ఉండరు. మీరే ఉంటారు మీరు దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ గారు అని. ఈవిడని ఎలా అనుకుంటారంటే అందరూ, మహిళలందరూ ఎస్పెషల్లీ మహిళా స్ఫూర్తి ప్రదాత అంటారు. దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ గారిని మహిళా స్ఫూర్తి ప్రదాత అంటారు. స్ఫూర్తి ప్రదాత అంటే ఏంటి? ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ టు ఎవ్రీవన్. ఈవిడ తన జీవితం అంతా సామాజిక సేవకు, ముఖ్యంగా స్త్రీ జనోద్ధరణకు అంకితం చేసిన స్ఫూర్తిదాత శ్రీమతి దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ గారు. ఈవిడ దేశభక్తురాలిగా, స్వాతంత్ర సమరయోధురాలిగా, సంఘ సంస్కర్తగా, అలానే రచయిత్రిగా తన కాలంలో మరెవరూ చూపని ధైర్య సాహసాలను చూపి చరిత్రలో నిలిచిపోయారు. ఈవిడ మన ఆంధ్ర రాష్ట్రం గర్వించదగ్గ మహిళా మూర్తుల్లో దుర్గాబాయిని అగ్రగణ్యులుగా చెప్పుకోవచ్చు మనం. ఈవిడ 1909 జూలై 15న కాకినాడలోని రాజమండ్రిలో జన్మించారు. చూసారా, ఈవిడ కూడా మన తెలుగువారే. ఆవిడ పుట్టింది రాజమండ్రిలో జన్మించారు ఆవిడ. ఈమె బాల్యం నుంచి ప్రతిభా పాటవాలను కనబరుస్తూ 10 సంవత్సరాల వయసులోనే హిందీలో పాండిత్యాన్ని సంపాదించి హిందీ పాఠశాలను నెలకొల్పి అన్ని వయసుల వారికి విద్యాబోధన చేసేవారు. ఆమె చాలా చిన్న వయస్సు నుండే భారత స్వాతంత్ర్య ఉద్యమంలో పాల్గొనింది. 14 సంవత్సరముల వయస్సులోనే కాకినాడలో జరిగిన భారత జాతీయ కాంగ్రెస్ నిర్వహించిన సమావేశంలో ఆమె స్వచ్ఛందంగా పాల్గొనేది. ఎవ్వరి ప్రోద్బలం లేకుండా ఆవిడే స్వచ్ఛందంగా వెళ్ళి కాంగ్రెస్ నిర్వహించిన సమావేశంలో పాల్గొనేది. 1930 మే నెలలో ఆమె మద్రాసులో జరిగిన ఉప్పు సత్యాగ్రహంలో పాల్గొని మరియు 1930 మరియు 32వ సంవత్సరంలో జైలు శిక్ష కూడా అనుభవించింది ఉప్పు సత్యాగ్రహంలో పాల్గొని. అలాగే 1936లో బెనారస్ హిందూ విశ్వవిద్యాలయం నిర్వహించే మెట్రికులేషన్ పరీక్ష కోసం మద్రాసులోని తెలుగు బాలికలకు శిక్షణ ఇవ్వడానికి ఆమె ఆంధ్ర మహిళా సభను స్థాపించింది. చూడండి, ఆవిడ ఒక ఆంధ్ర మహిళా సభను స్థాపించింది. దుర్గాబాయి ఆంధ్ర మహిళ అనే తెలుగు పత్రికను కూడా స్థాపించింది. అలానే సంపాదకురాలిగా పనిచేసింది. చిన్ననాటి నుంచే ఆవిడ స్వాతంత్ర్య పోరాటంలో పాల్పంచుకోవడం వలన తెలుగు గడ్డపై మహాత్మా గాంధీ గారు రాకను పురస్కరించుకొని 12వ ఏళ్ల వయస్సులోనే ఆమె విరాళాలు సేకరించింది. విరాళాలు అంటే అందరి దగ్గర నుంచి విరాళం కలెక్ట్ చేసి ఎవరికైనా హెల్ప్ చేయడం, కరెక్టా? అలానే ఆయన కలెక్ట్ చేసినవన్నీ మహాత్మా గాంధీ గారికి ఇచ్చేవారు. మహాత్మా గాంధీ సూచన మేరకు మారు ఆలోచించకుండా ఆయన ఆవిడ దగ్గరున్న ఒకనొక సందర్భంలో ఏదైనా సహాయం కావలసి వస్తే ప్రజలకి తన చేతిలో ఉన్న బంగారు గాజులను కూడా ఆలోచించకుండా విరాళంగా అందజేశారట ఆవిడ ఒకసారి. ఈ ఒక ఇన్సిడెంట్ చెప్తాను చూడండి. 1929లో కాకినాడలో అప్పుడు డిఫరెంట్ ప్లేసెస్‌లో కాంగ్రెస్ మహాసభలు జరిగేవి. 1923లో కాకినాడలోని కాంగ్రెస్ సభలకు వాలంటీర్‌గా పనిచేస్తూ ఆవిడ అప్పుడు నెహ్రూ గారు కాంగ్రెస్ సమావేశాలకు విచ్చేశారు. కానీ నెహ్రూ గారి దగ్గర టికెట్ లేని కారణంగా నెహ్రూ వారంతటినే ఆవిడ అనుమతించలేదు. ఎందుకు అంటే టికెట్ తీసుకున్న తర్వాతే మిమ్మల్ని అలో చేస్తాను. అదర్‌వైజ్ అలో చేయము. మీరు వెళ్లి టికెట్ తీసుకురండి అని నెహ్రూ అంతటి వారినే ఆవిడ స్టాప్ చేసింది. అప్పుడు తన కర్తవ్య నిర్వహణకు గాను ఆయన నుండి ప్రశంసలు పొందారు దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ గారు. అంటే ఆవిడ ఆలోచించండి, విధి నిర్వహణలో ఎంత కరెక్ట్‌గా ఉనింది అని. అంటే మన పని మనకు ఏదైనా ఒక విధి నిర్వహిస్తే, మనకేదైనా ఒక పని అప్పచెప్తే దానిని కరెక్ట్‌గా చేయాలి. ఏది ఆలోచించకుండా మన పని మనం కరెక్ట్‌గా చేయాలి. అలానే ఆవిడ తన విధి నిర్వహణ కరెక్ట్‌గా చేశారు అనే ఉదాహరణకు ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పనొచ్చా నేను. అలానే ఆవిడ ఉప్పు సత్యాగ్రహంలో కూడా పాల్గొని అరెస్ట్ కాబడిందని ఇంతకు ముందే చెప్పాను కదా. సో భారతదేశంలో అక్షరాస్యత ప్రోత్సాహానికి ఆమె చేసిన కృషికి గాను దుర్గాబాయి గారు 1971లో నెహ్రూ సాహిత్య పురస్కారం లభించింది. ఆమెకు 1975లో పద్మ విభూషణ్ కూడా లభించింది. ఆవిడ 1981 మే 9న మరణించారు. ఇది దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ గారి గురించి. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ అండి.
Shall we start now?
Yes.
Okay.
Good evening, children. 9th standard science. Last class we studied about biogeochemical cycle. In biogeochemical cycle, today's topic is nitrogen cycle. Today's topic is nitrogen cycle. So what is nitrogen cycle? Nitrogen is the important nutrient needed for the survival of all living organism. Okay. So nitrogen cycle is the important nutrition for survival of all living organisms. So living organism need a nitrogen part. Okay. One of the important thing is nitrogen. So essential component nitrogen is protein, DNA, and then chlorophyll. So atmosphere is a rich source of nitrogen. It contains 78% of nitrogen. It is one of important questions. In atmosphere, nitrogen content is 78.4%. So how much amount of nitrogen is present in 78 how much amount of nitrogen is present in atmosphere means 78%. So plants and animals cannot utilize the atmospheric nitrogen. They can use only if it is the form of ammonia, amino acid, and nitrogen. Plants and animals are not utilize the atmosphere. Plants and animals. So they can't utilize the nitrogen. So how they can utilize means in the form of ammonia, amino acid, and nitrate. So plants and animals needs the nitrogen in the formation of ammonia, amino acid and nitrates. So, in this formation only, the plants and animals need the nitrogen part. Okay. So, in this way, the process are involved in nitrogen is called nitrogen cycle. They are in different stages. That is nitrogen fixation, nitrogen assimilation, ammonification, nitrification, and then denitrification. These are all the process of nitrogen cycle. Okay. Nitrogen is an important nutrition for all living organism. There is no doubt. Okay. So atmosphere contain 78% of nitrogen. That is second thing. First thing, all the living organism need nitrogen content. 78% of nitrogen. That is second thing. Third thing, plant and animals are not consumed the direct nitrogen. That is third point. Fourth point, plants and animals are needed in the formation of ammonia and then amino acid and nitrate formation of nitrogen. So, this is the basic concept. So, with this concept, we are going to learn the nitrogen cycle. Yes, nitrogen cycle means first step of nitrogen cycle is nitrogen fixation. That is the first step. First heading is nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is the first step of nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen fixation is the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen, which is in inert form. Atmospheric nitrogen is an inert form. So, it is reactive to the compounds available to all the living organism. That is already we know that plants and animals are not taking the atmospheric nitrogen because it is in inert form. Okay. So, the nitrogen is in inert form in atmosphere. So, the plants and animals are not taking the nitrogen from the atmosphere. So, this conversion, so to react with the compounds available, conversion is done by the number of bacteria, that is blue-green algae. The conversion is done by the help of blue-green algae. Nitrogen conversion. Certain different type of plants, that is leguminous plants like pea and beans. Example of leguminous plant means pea and then beans. These plants are called as leguminous plants. So, leguminous plants means peas and beans. That is, they have the symbiotic relationship with nitrogen fixing bacteria. That is rhizobium. Rhizobium is present in the root nodules of the leguminous plants. The roots are in this pea plants and bees. These kind of plants, roots are store the nitrogen in that root part. That is called root nodules. This is root nodules in peas and pea plants. So, rhizobium is occur in root nodules of leguminous plants and fixes the nitrogenous compound, that is ammonium, and then nitrate formation. First stage of nitrogen cycle is nitrogen fixation. Nitrogen fixation is the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen to that inert form. So, reactive compounds available in living organisms. That is, conversion is done by the number of bacteria, that is blue-green algae. It is the convertant. So leguminous plants means leguminous plant like P and B plants are store the nitrogen contents in the root part. So symbiotic relationship with the nitrogen and the bacteria, that is rhizobium. Rhizobium is present in root part. Rhizobium is present in root part. Okay, rhizobium is occurred in the root nodules and the leguminous plants, fixes the nitrogenous compounds. Okay, this is the first step of nitrogen cycle. And next step is nitrogen assimilation. First part is nitrogen, atmospheric nitrogen conversion. Second one is students, listen the class. Don't chat it. Is there any doubt, ma'am? Is there any doubt means you please ask me. Nitrogen assimilation is the second stage of nitrogen cycle. Plants absorb the nitrate ions and use them for making organic matter like the proteins and nucleic acid. First thing, plants are absorb the nitrogen. Plants absorb the nitrogen in the nitrate ions forms. Now it is audible. Students, yes. Nitrogen assimilation means plants absorb the nitrate ions, use them the organic matter of like proteins and then nucleic acid. The formation of nucleic acids. So herbivorous animals are convert the plant proteins to animal proteins. Carnivorous animals are synthesize the proteins from their food itself. There are three kinds of animals: herbivores, omnivores, carnivores. Okay, so the herbivore animals are take the nitrogen, convert the nitrogen to the plant protein to the animal protein. Herbivore animals convert the plant protein to animals protein. So this conversion is done in herbivore animals. Another category, carnivore animals are synthesize the protein from their food itself. So what is assimilation means? Plants are absorb the nitrate ions in the making of organic matter of proteins and then nucleic acid. Okay, so in this assimilation process, herbivore animals are convert the plant protein to animal protein, and then carnivore animals are synthesize the protein from their food. So this process is done in the nitrogen assimilation part. First one is fixation. Fixation means atmospheric nitrogen conversion, and next one is nitrogen assimilation means plants absorb the nitrate ions, and next one is ammonification. Next is stage is ammonification. In this process, nitrogenous waste by purifying the bacteria and fungi to ammonia compounds. That is nitrogenous waste are
conversion, that is purification bacteria to fungi and then ammonia compounds. So a nitrogen wasted by the bacteria and fungi to ammonia. The conversion is ammonium compounds. Nitrogenous waste, how they are come means bacteria and the purification of bacteria and then fungi to ammonia compound. That is called as ammonification process. This conversion, nitrogenous waste is converted into ammonium compounds. That process is called ammonification. Nitrogenous waste means that is bacteria and fungi they purify the waste. Animal proteins are excreted to the form of urea, uric acid, and ammonia. Okay, so that purifying bacteria, that is fungi, is decompose these animal protein, dead animals, and then plants into ammonium compounds. In these three stages, ammonification process is done in three parts. One is decomposition of nitrogenous waste into ammonium compounds with the help of bacteria and then fungi. Purifying bacteria and then fungi into ammonium compounds. That is ammonification. Animal proteins are, that is, excreted in the form of, one is animal protein. Animal proteins are excreted in the form of urea and then uric acid, animal waste, cow dung, and then cow urine. So here that decomposition part. Animal proteins are purifying the bacteria. First one, the animal proteins, excretory products of urea and uric acid or ammonia. Next, purifying bacteria of fungi is decompose the animal proteins into dead animal plants, that is ammonium compounds. So in this way, ammonification processes go. First one is nitrogen fixation, that is atmospheric nitrogen conversion. Assimilation means plants absorb the nitrogen like herbivores and carnivores animals. Waste. Second, third one is ammonification. Ammonification means process of decomposition of the nitrogen waste to bacteria. Animal protein means that is converted to urea and then uric acid. And next process is nitrification. Next process is nitrification. Nitrification means the ammonium compounds formed by the ammonification process. So they are oxidized to soluble nitrate formation. So in this process, nitrate formation is known as nitrification. First concept, nitrate formation. Nitrate formation process is called as nitrification. What is nitrification means? Nitrate formation. How the nitrates are formed by? Form means that is ammonia compounds are formed in ammonification process. So the ammonium compounds are oxidized to soluble nitrates. Ammonium compounds are oxidized, oxidation process. So it is in the oxidation process, ammonium compounds are converted into ammonium nitrates, that is soluble nitrate formation. So this is called as nitrification process. In this process, nitrate formation known as. So the bacteria is the responsible for the nitrification process. That is called as nitrifying bacteria. Who is the responsible for the nitrification process means bacteria, nitrifying bacteria. Nitrifying bacteria is help in this process. Okay. So what is nitrification means? Nitrate formation is called as nitrification. Ammonium compounds are oxidized, changed into ammonium, that is soluble nitrate. So in this process, who is the responsible for this process means bacteria. Which bacteria means nitrifying bacteria is helped in this process. Okay. This process is called as nitrification. Okay. Nitrogen cycle picture show here. This is the diagram of nitrogen cycle. First one is which process? First process is called as nitrogen fixation. Yes, this is nitrogen fixation. That is, atmospheric nitrogen is changed into atmospheric nitrogen is changed into the form of that reactive compounds in that organism with the help of the blue-green algae. So this process is nitrogen fixation process. Nitrogen assimilation process. This is nitrogen assimilation means plants absorb the nitrate ions in the making of organic matter like protein and then nucleic acid. Herbivorous animals are that convert the protein to animal proteins. And then carnivore animals means they are synthesized with their food itself. So this picture is explain the assimilation process. And then ammonification. So this is the ammonification process. Decomposition of nitrogen waste. Yes. What is this? Nitrogen waste material. Decomposition of animal waste and plant waste, the nitrogenous waste purifying the bacteria to ammonium compounds, that is called as ammonification process. Animal proteins are excreted, urea and then uric acid. So that purifying bacteria has decomposed the animal proteins in dead animals. So this pictures express the ammonification process details. And next one is nitrification. So nitrification means in this part that ammonium compounds are changed into soluble nitrate formation. So that is done in this place. The ammonium compounds formation of ammonification process. It is oxidized into soluble nitrate. So that nitrate formation is called as nitrification process. Which bacteria used in this place? Yes, nitrifying bacteria is used to form the nitrification process. Next one is denitrification. Denitrification process means free living soil bacteria, that is pseudomonas, reduce the nitrate ions to gaseous nitrogen. So reduce that. Nitrate ions are formed in the nitrification process, that is soluble nitrates. So that is converted into the gaseous nitrogen which enters the atmosphere. So that process is known as denitrification. Denitrification process means soil bacteria, pseudomonas, reduce the nitrate ion of soil to gaseous nitrogen that is entered to atmosphere. Okay, so that process is in this denitrification. Okay, so this is one of the important question. First one is water cycle, nitrogen cycle, and then carbon cycle. These are all the three essential main cycles of biogeochemical cycle. Already we studied about that water cycle process. This is the right explanation about the nitrogen cycle. Okay. So next time what I told, denitrification. What is denitrification means? Denitrification process is the last stage of nitrogen cycle. Denitrifications. The bacteria such as pseudomonas reduce the nitrate ions to the soil into gaseous nitrogen. Concept is nitrate ions of soil into gaseous nitrogen. The gaseous nitrogen is entered to atmosphere. So this process in last stage, that is denitrification process. Okay. Next one is a human, how they impact the nitrogen cycle means burning fossil fuel and then application of nitrogen based fertilizer and other activities increase the amount of biological nitrogen in our ecosystem. So agricultural fields enters the rivers, marine system also. So it is alters the biodiversity and changes the food web structure and destroy the general habitat. So the human, how the humans are impact on the nitrogen cycle means on this basis only they are impacted. Now I'm going to do one small activity related this concept. This is nitrogen cycle diagram. Yes, we studied about the nitrogen cycle concept. This diagram expresses the details of nitrogen cycle. We can easily understand the concept of nitrogen cycle with the help of this activity. Yes. What are the pictures? Animals and plants in the globe in our earth. What are the details are giving? Absorption of usable nitrogen by plants, nitrogen fixation by lightning, decomposition of animals and plants, denitrification by bacteria, nitrogen fixation by bacteria. Okay. So, very easy one. Nitrogen fixation by lightning. Yes. Nitrogen fixation by lightning means in this place. And then nitrogen fixation by bacteria. Yes, this is the place. This is the bacteria. And then decomposition of animals and plants. Decomposition of animals and plants. Where it is means here. And then what are the next two parts? One is decomposition of absorption. Sorry. Nitrogen fixation bacteria, denitrification. Yes. What are the remaining concept? Denitrification of bacteria means this is denitrification of bacteria, absorption of usable nitrogen by plants. Absorption of usable nitrogen by plants means by earth. They are utilize the nitrogen. Okay. Denitrification bacteria means here. Nitrogen fixation bacteria means this is nitrogen fixation bacteria. Decomposition of animals, plants, and then nitrogen fixation by that lightning process. So this is the process of that nitrogen cycle. Simple process. The atmospheric air contains the nitrogen and then nitrogen fixation by the lightning process. Nitrogen fixation by the bacteria with the help of bacteria. Decomposition of plants and animals. They change the nitrogen to that conversion process. So here the bacteria changed into ammonia and then nitrate formation. Absorption of usable nitrogen, then denitrification bacteria, and again it is joined into the atmospheric air. So this is the cyclic formation. In this formation, the nitrogen cycle is formed. So the answers are right. I think Can understand the nitrogen cycle with the help of this small activity. So nitrogen fixation by lightning, and nitrogen fixation by the bacteria, decomposition of plants means this is, and then next one is denitrification bacteria means this absorption of usable nitrogen by plants. Okay. There one more activity for this nitrogen cycle process. So it is also the best feature of the nitrogen cycle. Plants, animals, and then bacteria. Okay. What are the details are here? Primary consumer, usable nitrogen in the soil, nitrogen gas in the atmosphere, and then nitrogen fixing bacteria made the nitrogen gas into the usable forms of ammonia. Primary producer, soil bacteria return the nitrogen to the atmosphere. Decomposer eat the detritus and then return nitrogen to the soil. Last one is a secondary consumer. Who is the first consumer? Primary consumer. Who is the first producer? Primary producer. Who is the secondary producer? And how the nitrogen gas in atmosphere also. In this way, the nitrogen cycle is, we can understand with the help of this activity. It is very useful. Okay, first one is, what are the details? Primary consumer. Who is the primary consumer? Yes, the rabbit is the primary consumer. Who is the first consumer means rabbit. And then secondary consumer. Who is the secondary consumer means, yes, the fox is the secondary consumer. Okay, who is the secondary consumer? Is the secondary consumer. So the rabbit is the first primary consumer. Okay, and next one is decomposer of heat, detritus and return nitrogen to the soil. Detritus, gas in atmosphere, and then decomposition of denitrates. Okay, this is the decomposition of the return the nitrogen to the soil. Okay, and next one, use the nitrogen. Usable nitrogen means, yes, they are using the nitrogen. So usable nitrogen in the soil means this is soil part only. So the usable nitrogen in the soil here. And then remaining part is primary producer. Who is the primary producer? Who used the nitrogen? Who are the usages means? Plants are utilize the nitrogen. So first one is user, primary producer. Who produce the nitrogen? This is the producer, primary producer of nitrogen. That is plants. Okay, and next one is soil bacteria. Soil bacteria means this is soil bacteria return nitrogen to the atmosphere. In this area is the right. This process is done in this place. And nitrogen fixing bacteria is the nitrogen fixing bacteria make the nitrogen gas into usable forms of ammonia. Yes. Nitrogen fixing bacteria made to nitrogen gas. Okay. So nitrogen gas into usable forms of ammonia formation. And then nitrogen gas in atmosphere. Yes. This is atmosphere. Nitrogen gas is present in this atmosphere. So all the points. First one is nitrogen gas is present in this atmosphere. The plants are the primary producer. This is the cycle. So primary producer or produce the nitrogen. First primary consumer. Rabbit is consumed that nitrogen. Secondary consumer. This kind of animals are utilize the nitrogen, that is secondary consumer. And next one here, decomposer eat the denitrates of the return nitrogen in the soil. In this process, usable nitrogens are present in the soil. That is the next process. Soil bacteria return to the nitrogen of atmosphere. In this way, that soil bacteria are nitrogen to the atmosphere. Okay, so this nitrogen, like bacteria, nitrogen gas into the usable form of the ammonia in here. Plants are absorbed in this way only. Ammonium as nitrates, ammonia, like that way only they are taking that, not direct nitrogen. Okay. So the answers are correct. The cyclic formation is a useful thing. Can you understand the cyclic formation, students? Yes, this is this part. Primary consumer, secondary consumer, usable nitrogens are present in the soil, decomposer and detrites to the return nitrogen in the soil in this way. Okay. First, nitrogen gas is in the atmospheric air. Primary producer is plant. Soil bacteria return to the nitrogen to the atmosphere. Nitrogen fixing bacteria make nitrogen gas into the usable form of ammonia. Nitrogen is converted into ammonia formation. So this is the concept of nitrogen cycle. Is there any doubt, students? So the nitrogen cycle concept is over. Next, we move to carbon cycle. Okay. Is there any doubt? Means you please ask me. Or otherwise, I will explain the next concept, that is carbon cycle. In biogeochemical cycle, third cycle is carbon cycle. So carbon is occur in the various form in the earth, that is charcoal, diamond, graphite, and the elemental form of carbon. So carbon is present in our earth in the form of charcoal. And then diamond. Diamond also one of the carbon compounds. And next one is graphite formation and the element of carbon. So in this formation, carbon is present in our earth. In the earth, carbon is present in this ways: charcoal formation, diamond and graphite and carbon formation. So combine the formas, carbon included. Yes, carbon is joined to another element. Carbon is joined to oxygen, means carbon monoxide and then carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide and then carbon dioxide is the carbonate and oxidized formation. And then next one is carbonate salts also. So combine the formation of carbon means carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and then carbonate salt. So in this formation also, carbon is present in our earth. So all the living organisms are made up of carbon containing molecule, that is protein and then nucleic acids. Okay, living organisms are present. Yes, in our body, protein and nucleic acids are present or not. So each and every protein and nucleic acids are contains carbon. Protein and nucleic acid contains carbon. So atmospheric carbon dioxide enters into the plants through the process of photosynthesis. In photosynthesis process, the plants are absorb the carbon dioxide. Do you know the process of photosynthesis? Yes, in that process, with the help of carbon dioxide, how the photosynthesis process are done in plants means plants absorb carbon dioxide and then water and sunlight. So in this, some more components also important for the photosynthesis. Essential component is carbon dioxide. One of the essential components means carbon dioxide. They absorb the carbon dioxide gas. Though atmospheric carbon dioxide enter to the plants through the process of the photosynthesis in the formation of carbohydrates. So plants is past the herbivores and carnivores. Herbivore animals means only they are taking the plants only. Herbivore animals means they are taking the plants. So, plants-eating animals. Sorry. Yes, plants-eating animals are called as the herbivores. Carnivores also taking plants. They are taking plants as well as animals. Okay. During the respiration, the plants are absorbed the carbon dioxide. Plants and release the carbon to the atmosphere air in the formation of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide also returns to the atmosphere through the decomposition of that organic matter, burning fossil fuel, and then volcanic activities also. Carbon is released from that place also. Yes, carbon dioxide returned the atmosphere through the decomposition of dead animals. Decomposition means dead animals and plants are called as the decomposition of waste. Decomposition of dead organic matter. So in this way, burning fossil fuel and then volcanic activities also release the carbon. So how the carbon content or increased in this ways only. First formation, plants photosynthesis process, and then next one is we are taking plants, animals and the human beings. We are inhale that oxygen, exhale the carbon dioxide. So plants and animals also exhale the carbon, that is atmosphere, to the form of carbon dioxide, and atmosphere through the decomposition of the organic matter, burning fossil fuel also. Burning of fossil fuel. So all the fuels are brought the gas of carbon. This contain carbon. Each and every burning process, the carbon is evolved on that places only. So carbon, what is carbon cycle? Yes, how the water cycle and then nitrogen cycles are done. That same way, carbon cycle also in that way. How the humans are impact the carbon cycle means carbon moves to the atmosphere, burning of fossil fuel, that is deforestation. When we want to burn that plants and trees or wooden material means in that place carbon is evolved. Carbon is released in that place. So most of the carbon in atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide means burning process. In burning process, the carbon dioxide is released in that places. So maximum part in that way only the carbon dioxide is released. Carbon dioxide is greenhouse gas also, because increasing the amount of carbon dioxide, earth becomes warmer. You know the concept of global warming. What is global warming? Global warming means nothing but the temperature is increased in our earth, means that is called as that changes is known as global warming. Some gases are called as the greenhouse gases, that is carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, these are all the greenhouse gases, because the amount is increased in our earth. The carbon dioxide amount is increased means the global warming percentage also increased in our earth. Increasing the amount of carbon dioxide, definitely the earth also become warm. So in that way, greenhouse effect and global warming effect also occur with the increasing of carbon monoxide and then carbon dioxide. When we want to burn unwanted material or that smoke of factory smoke and then vehicle smokes are contains the carbon monoxide amount is higher in that place. So when we want to reduce the usage of vehicle means the global warming percentage also decreased because the carbon monoxide content is lesser. When we reduce the vehicle usages means definitely we will control the global warming effect also. Okay. Next one is carbon cycle. How the nitrogen cycle formation, the same concept, carbon cycles. This is carbon cycle means what are the objects are? Factory smoke, animals, plants and sunlight. Carbon dioxide in air, respiration, combustion, feeding, fossil fuel, decay by the decomposer, photosynthesis process. So these are all the essential topic words present in carbon cycle. So with the help of these words, we want to frame the carbon cycle process. Okay. First one is, yes, photosynthesis process. This is photosynthesis process. That is, plants are absorb the sunlight. Plants are absorb the sunlight. Carbon dioxide present in air. Yes, this is atmospheric air. Carbon dioxide is present in our earth. Next one is photosynthesis. Another one is feeding. Yes, the plants, eating animals, herbivores. This is herbivore animal. So they are eating the plants only. And this process is respiration process. Respiration process means the plants are respirate. They are taking carbon dioxide and release the oxygen. That is a respiration process. Okay. And next one is combustion process. Yes, this is combustion process. And decay the decomposers. Decay by the decomposers. Who is the decay of the decomposers means? Yes, this is. And next, fossil fuel means underground the soil. This is fossil fuel. Fossil fuels are present in the soil only. Okay. So this is fossil fuel. And this one is feeding. This is respiratory part. And then photosynthesis and combustion process, decay by the decomposer. Okay, first one is respiration. Respiration means the plants are respirate. The plants are absorb the sunlight. They are doing the photosynthesis process. So next one is what is decay by the decomposers. The next process means this is decomposers, decay by the decomposers. And next one, what is that? The carbon monoxide and then carbon dioxide are released in this combustion process is done. And next one, that animals are converted the carbon. They are taking intake the oxygen, release the carbon dioxide. So these plants also release the carbon dioxide, animals also release the carbon dioxide, and then factory smoke also contain carbon dioxide, and then decay by the decomposer also release the carbon dioxide. So in this way, the carbon cyclic process is done. How the carbon cyclic process means each and every plants, animals, and then factory smokes. These are all contain the carbon content, carbon monoxide, carbon, and then fossil fuels contain the carbon element. So this is the cyclic process of carbon cycle. Students, you can understand this concept. What is carbon cycle? Is there any doubt in nitrogen cycle and then carbon cycle process? Is there any doubt? Means you please ask me. So this is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is present in our earth. That's it. Next one is photosynthesis process. Photosynthesis process means they are taking carbon dioxide, release that oxygen. Respiration process and then feeding. Animals are taking plants their food, and then animal waste contain the carbon, and then fossil fuel contain the carbon, carbon monoxide, that smokes contain the carbon. They are releasing the carbon in this way. So with this activity, we are learning the carbon cyclic process. Is there any doubt? Means you please ask me. Yes, in this session, we learn what is nitrogen cycle. What are the process are in nitrogen? What are the process contain the nitrogen cycle means? What are they? First one is which process? Nitrogen cycle means first process is nitrification, nitrogen fixation, nitrogen assimilation process, ammonification, and then next one is nitrification and then denitrification. Okay, these are all the stages of nitrogen cycle. Carbon cycle is very simple, single concept. That is only one simple process in carbon cycle. Carbon occurs in various formation, combine the formation of carbon and carbon monoxide. So all the living organism also made the carbon contain the molecules. So during the respiration process, plants and animals also release the carbon to the atmosphere. In this way, carbon is released each and every way. Plants, animals, and then vehicles, and then fossil fuel in that way. Okay. So these two cycle concepts are over. Is there any doubt? Means you please ask me. There is no doubt. Have you all read that water cycle process? Have you any idea about the water cycle? What are the stages of water cycle? Each and every day we want to read that, and that day syllabus part. That way we want to study. It means we can understand all the subject concept as well as it will be used for our examination part also. What are the process? Anyone tell me? First one is evaporation. Is it? Evaporation, sublimation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, runoff, and then infiltration process. These are all the stages of water cycle. Have you all recall that concept of that? No idea. Each and every day, not only the subject, each and every day, just you go through all the chapters are done in your class as well as in this session also. Okay, you please follow, it will be very useful. Thank you, students. Jai Vidya Shakti, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.